Hey folks, Randy here doing Cut and Trim. So a year ago, I think, I posted a video detailing the contracts that we use in our business for the lawn maintenance. And I'll post a link to that video in the description box of this video so that if you're interested, you can see that. There's a link to the contract terms in that video. So if there's anything in there that you want to use, feel free. If you want to copy and paste, I don't care. Just use it. I don't care. It's just what we use. And I would recommend showing it to a lawyer first, just to make sure it's good to go for your area. But whatever. It's your business, your life. Do what you want. But we are making a big amendment to it, and I wanted to discuss what it is and why. So right now, and it has to do with our payment terms. So the way we handle things now is we charge a person's card on file at the time of service. So we may charge the card at the once we get to the property, or we might charge the card once we leave. It just kind of depends. But the way our terms are written is at the time of service, we charge the card on file. So an issue that and I want to make a change to that. So an issue we had this year is we had, for innocent reasons and for not so innocent reasons, we had customers whose cards would get declined when we would go to service their property. And in some cases, it was a simple thing of, I closed that account. I need to give you a new card. Sorry, I forgot to give it to you. Here it is. And other cases, it was like, I didn't have any money. Thank you. I'll pay you whenever I feel like it. And some cases, it was, like, oh, I got hacked and my card's been shut down. I'll pay you when I get the new one. Or in some cases, it was like, thank you for the free cut. So it's like, but the three things those situations have in common is I didn't get paid in a timely manner. Now, for my company, getting paid in a timely manner, it means something different than, because I know a lot of guys, they bill monthly, they wait on a check. I don't like doing that. I am a strong believer in strong cash flow. I like that money to flow, and to flow freely and quickly. And so I like to get paid as soon as possible. And so the way I have my company set up, getting paid for a job should take, let's do the math, approximately 5 seconds. That's the amount of time that we allot to getting paid. So the amount of time it takes for me to hit end job, take a picture of the job, click the invoice, click payment, and hit charge card. All right, that's probably a 10-second process. So we allot 10 seconds to getting paid. If we don't get paid in that 10-second span, then the amount of time allotted to actually getting paid shoots through the roof. Okay, so like if we normally would take 10 seconds, now if I've got to send you an email to get paid, we're up to a minute. Which I know taking a minute to deal with a payment isn't a lot, but it's 6 times longer than what we allotted. And that's how I look at everything. Is like, we allot a certain amount of time, and I don't want to take any more time than that. And then if you take into consideration the fact that, we might be in a situation where the customer, they need to update their card, but they don't feel like dealing with the portal, so they call us. Now we've added 2 or 3 minutes to that process. Or maybe they're just ducking us, and so we have to send multiple emails. We could end up in a situation, and you're going to think this sounds silly, but we could end up in a situation where we spend 5 or 10 minutes trying to collect payment. And at that point, if we spend 10 minutes trying to collect, that's 60 times more time than what we had allotted. We allotted 10 seconds for payment. Now we're spending 60 times that, and just to get paid. And we didn't get paid in a timely manner, which is what I want. I don't want to do a job and then I don't want to ever have to wonder if I'm getting paid for a job. I just want to know, because if I'm not going to get paid, if you don't want to pay me, that's fine. I don't want to do it, and so I won't. So the big change that we're going to make to help weed out non-payers and help people who may not realize there's an issue is we're going to change the payment terms to cards will be processed the morning of your service date. So if it's when I go into the office, I don't know, 5 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, I'll run all the cards for people that are getting serviced that day. And that way, if there's people whose cards get declined, we can send them an email and let them know, like, hey, your card was declined, and that way they can then, we're now in front of it. So we're not wasting time driving to their property. We're not wasting, we're not cutting it and not getting paid. It's actually a big time saver for us, because if they don't have the money in their account, I don't want to spend, if they don't have the money in their account, their card gets declined, and we don't go there, I've actually saved myself an additional 15 minutes or so in drive time, because I didn't have to drive to there and I didn't have to drive from there. So I've saved myself that amount of time if the person just doesn't have the money to pay that day. But also, I'm actually allowing myself the potential to still make that money, because if I charge the cards at 5 a.m., most of my customers aren't even awake yet. So if I charge the cards at 5 a.m. and let's say 2 of them get declined, I can then email those 2 people and say, hey, just wanted to give you a heads up. We charged a card this morning, but it was declined. If you think there was an issue or something like that, shoot us an email, or so we can get this taken care of and we can get you put back on the schedule. Because the hope is they'll see that and be like, daggone it, I meant to switch over to the Chase card or whatever, and they can do that, get paid, and pay the amount that they owe, and we can still perform the service, and then everybody's happy. Because I gotta tell you, man, there's nothing more frustrating, especially in a drought. There's nothing more frustrating than pulling up to 4 houses in a row and all 4 have their cards get declined. That is very frustrating and not something I want to deal with anymore. So that's how we're going to address that. So I just want to kind of give you guys an update on how we're handling payments. I know some guys have customers prepay for the month. That's not really my thing, because I really like the ability to keep things as flexible as possible for myself and for my customers. And so prepaying for the month, if they cancel after the first week of that month's service, I don't want to have to give them like $105 back. I'd rather just be done. So I'm not looking at my phone, I'm looking at my map. So that's what we're gonna do. And then it's pretty simple. If for some reason we don't service a customer's property, or I don't know, something happens, refunding the money back to their credit card is very simple. It's it's not a hard process by any stretch of the imagination. So that's what we're gonna do. So I just wanted to tell you guys about that. Maybe you can use that for you can implement that in your business. I don't know. This is something that we're doing. Figured it'd be helpful to you guys to know about it, so maybe you can implement it in your business. So this is Randy with Dolan Cut and Trim. Have a good one.